Hey everyone, let's talk about the Guardian SN55 dehumidifier. Full disclosure, this is a paid sponsored video. So this dehumidifier can be used for several things. It's really just for taking the moisture out of the air and sending it away. You don't want that moisture, that humidity in the air. This is the kind of machine that you want to use for that. This Guardian SN55 is an industrial grade dehumidifier. So there are a few applications for this. You can use this in a basement, like a moist or damp basement. You can use this in a laundry room. Maybe you have a bunch of wet towels and you want to get the kind of the mold smell out of the air. This would be something cool for that. You can use this in an attic. It also can be used for crawl spaces like under a pier and beam house. So a lot of moisture accumulates under a pier and beam house. This would be a good place to use this. All right, so this actually has a humidistat on it. This monitors the condensation, the humidity in the air. And as you see right here, it shows me that the humidity is 67% right now, and it is humid. There is rain coming into the area. The typical humidity point around this in this area is around 50 to 55%. So we should be able to get some humidity out of the air and actually show you some of this draining. So what this thing does is it brings in the air into the humidifier, and there are evaporating coils in there, and those evaporating coils do their magic. However they do it, and they pull the condensation out of the air and it drains out as water. We are about to run this thing and get some of the humidity out of this air. So let me just show you the different parts of this dehumidifier. So for one, because this is an industrial grade dehumidifier, it comes with some straps. This is a pretty heavy dehumidifier. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty strong. So these straps are solid. On the side, this is the fan where the hot air, because it actually warms the air inside and blows the air out, that actually is while it's taking the moisture out of the air. All right, on the front here, you've got your power button. You've got your up and down, which this is where you set the level of this is your set point where you want the humidity to be in that particular area. Okay, and also there's a light for compressor. There's a light for the power, and then you have your continuous mode, which you can set this as continuous as well. So if you don't want to set a certain humidity level, then you can set it on continuous. So you can set your humidity level anywhere between 36% to 90%. Once the set point goes below the humidity in the room, then this will kick on and start doing its job. If I take this down and go all the way down to continuous, it will just stay on. So right down here, this is a little plug where you can plug a controller in. That controller is a remote control. It's a wired control, but it is an optional wired control if you want to plug that in. This right here is where the hot air comes out, and it comes with this little thing, which you can attach also to ducting if you need to, if you want to duct into maybe another room. If you're pulling humidity out of one room and you want this air to blow somewhere else, you can do that. This over here, this is where your drainage tube is. And again, this works on gravity. So this needs to be elevated so that the condensation and the water drain out, or the moisture drain out and down. Okay, here on the back side, this is real obvious what this is right here. This right here is your MERV 8 filter, and you can actually clean this out by using a vacuum and whatnot. I'm gonna put my set point for the humidity at about 50%. I'm gonna turn the power on right here. You're gonna hear 2 beeps. The humidistat will continue to tell you what the humidity is in the room though, so that is cool. And so this thing will just run. It's just blowing pretty fast. Again, this is industrial grade, so this thing is gonna just run and run. So I'm gonna let this run for a few minutes. More moisture is starting to go out and go down. It's eventually going to have a lot of moisture out of its air, and actually it's starting to feel less humid in this room. Okay, this thing has been running about 5 to 10 minutes, and I noticed a decrease in the humidity in the garage. It's actually starting to feel somewhat comfortable out here, even though it is probably still in the mid to high 80s. As I showed you, there's definitely moisture being pulled out of this air. It's being delivered down the drain pipe. So you will have to find a place to drain the moisture with this machine. It does come with this drain pipe that's probably about 6 feet long or so. But you can drain it into a PVC pipe, a sump pump or something like that. Again, you want to be sure that this is elevated so that it can drain naturally. It went from 65% moisture to 59. I'm going to turn the power off. When I turn the power off, it actually is going to take about 1 minute for this thing to stop, because it's going to be sure that the moisture is being cleared out of the lines. All right, so this is a very cool machine. So you could use this in various different scenarios, like a basement. You could use this in crawl spaces. You could use this in an attic, in a damp, moist room somewhere. Anywhere you want to take the humidity out of the air and send it away, this is the machine that you'll want to use.